Okay, so here again, those of you who have been watching this breakdown on these gang rail mowers that I've been working on. So I wanted to kind of show you, starting with the wheel, how to take that off. So basically what you do is this cap, you want to take it off very carefully because as you can see these little pins here, they're very, very fragile. So just take a very small screwdriver, stick them in from that hole, push them in, and then pop the cap carefully. So that now leaves you with this and the retaining ring. So you need to take that retaining ring off. So I just take a little screwdriver, basically, stick it in that hole, and twist it. Which, wow, we just popped it out here, but I think I see it, so I won't worry about chasing it down at the moment. And then there's this little washer here. This gets kind of tricky because it's actually a little bit bigger than that retaining ring, and as you can see, it gets stuck in that little groove. So that's probably going to be your most difficult part about taking that stupid thing off, because it definitely, well, here, we'll just do it this way. Pull the wheel. There you go. It just comes off with it. Set your retainer ring aside, and here's how you get to all those gear components that I was telling you about. You can leave that little like thrust spacer bushing in there. And here now we're back into all the internal workings. So this does work that way, but you can tell it's very, very, very tight. There's a lot of sticky areas. So this is definitely going to have to come off. I'm going to have to see what's going on in there. Hopefully it's just lack of lube, because I can feel it's very, very tight on there, and it's definitely grinding something. So either the little cog pin that's inside there is bad, or the shaft itself, or possibly even this stupid gear has some kind of issue, but it's definitely not loose like it should be. You can feel a lot of grinding in there. So I'm hoping I get lucky and it's just the lack of lube, I hope. Because this one would be very interesting, because if that shaft is bad, which is basically that all the way through the spool, that's a different animal altogether. Because that shaft, that's what you're seeing right there. That shaft goes all the way through. So when it comes time to even changing that bearing, that's going to be really fun, because you got to, again, drill out those rivets to pull that plate once you got the gear off. But then you have to pull the gear out this way. You cannot push it through the other way, because guess what? I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a little hub and a ring there which will not allow you to push it down in that direction. So you'd literally have to do this from up top. So you'd probably have to drill into that bearing, and you'd have to get one of those hook type things to be able to grab it from the ball bearings themselves and actually literally pick it up and take it out. Because this will have to be in place. This reel has to be in place, and you'll have to put the bearing over top of that shaft and then press it down. So that, if something happens to a reel, would probably be your biggest pain in the butt to fix, because that's probably a lot of work to do that. You'd have to be very, very careful how to do that. Because if that shaft has to come out, guess what? Look at this. Everything's bolted together, so this whole entire side would have to come off in order to get that reel out, because everything is riveted together, so there's no way to literally separate that bearing and that recess for that bearing in the side plate. So you'd literally have to take everything apart and pull it apart just to be able to replace that reel. So hopefully you never ever have to do that, because at that point I think I would almost call it junk, because you're probably looking at 6-8 hours of work to get something like that apart, and I don't really think that that would be money worth spent, honestly. But you know, if it's a unique, one of a kind, you got to fix it, and you got nothing but time, and you don't look at your time that way, then so be it. Now you can see the shaft here. There is a little lip on it, not much, but we can get away with probably greasing that. So we'll break into this and we'll figure out what's going on in here, and why we're not able to move. I don't think it's the bearing. So I'm really hoping, really hoping that's just because that blade is too tight and it's been sitting for a while, because you can see all the rust there. So I might just try some back lapping and see if that solves the problem. So again, thanks for watching.